session, you have to change your display name to adding the partner university name, but that will be explained later. And the third rule is the participants are encouraged to use the virtual background, which we have attached to your email. If there is any technical problems, it is allowed not to use the virtual background. The fourth rule is the participants must mute their microphones during the session unless allowed by the MC. And then the participants have to turn their camera or video on as a requirement to get stamp for it. And if there are any questions, the participants can drop the questions in the chat room using the available format sent by our committee, or use the raise hand feature and wait until the MC allows you to speak. And then the last one is the participants have to fill the attendance and feedback form as a requirement to get stamp for it. Please note that each link will be closed 30 minutes after being shared by our committee. And so as I said, please fill the attendance form. It is shared by our committee in the chat room. You will not be able to close. And now while we are still waiting, I will explain briefly what our event today is. So Let's Study Abroad, or LSA February edition, is a discussion and consultation session by ITS University around all student levels. And today, we have representatives from 3 of our partner universities. The first one is Dr. Aydin from Tarlac Agricultural University in Philippines. And then the last but not least, we have Mr. Michel Lecour from And now for our have a panel discussion session where you will be able to ask questions to each university's representative. And after the panel discussion, you will enter the breakout rooms. There will be one room for each partner where you will be able to ask. And all right, now I will proceed to our first agenda, that is the opening statement from Senior Manager of ITS Global Engagement Office on Promotion and Mobility, Dr. Octavianti Dwi Wahyurini. Bu Oin.
Hello.
The time is yours.
Thank you so much, Laura, for the wonderful introductions. To our honorable guest, Dr. Ayse Deniz Özkan, the Vice Director, Global Education and Partnerships, Istanbul Aydin University, Turkey. Dr. Christine Ferrer, Director, External Linkages and International Affairs, Tarlac Agricultural University, the Philippines. Mr. Michel Legault, Director of International Partnerships from Université de Technologie de Troyes, France, to all committee and students. Good afternoon and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the ITS Let's Study Abroad. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed partners from Istanbul Aydin University, Tarlac Agricultural University, and also from UTT Troyes, France, for their willingness to join this event. As a university that is keen to be a world-class university, having the students to experience international exposures is essential for ITS. For the past 5 years, we have sent in total 2,800 of our students to 33 countries around the globe to participate in several internationalization programs, including student exchange, short program, and internships. And according to the QS 2021 edition, ITS outbound mobility is the strongest in Asia. Indeed, the global pandemic has made it difficult for us to do the physical mobility. However, it also has been proven that the pandemic does not stop us to strive in creating innovations in mobility program. ITS is thankful to the incredible support from our partners, as the mobility program will not be possible without the strong partnerships between us. TLSA allows ITS students to connect with ITS international partners and help them to identify international programs that suits them. I'm very hopeful that ITS students will take this wonderful opportunity by actively engage in discussions and asking many questions regarding living costs, academic life, accommodations, and so on. I'm gladly to open this exciting program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Owen, for your opening, very motivating, and we also hope that we have new thinking in technology and is taking steps towards foreign languages, food, mechatronics, and computing labs. Dr. Oskan, the time is yours.
Wahyu, can you hear me?
Okay.
I just need a minute to connect through a better device. Just 1 minute.
Oh, yes, please, Dr. Aise, of course.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Oh, okay, Mr. Wahyu, I
So
cannot
we
hear your
have
voice.
two delegation from Istanbul Aydin University. We have Dr.
Okay,
Aise
Mr.
and Miss
Wahyu, I cannot hear your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, Dr.
Yes.
Aise. Yes.
Okay, can
We
I
can hear
share
you.
my screen now?
Yes, please do, Dr.
Here
Oskan.
we go.
Yes.
Okay,
I can
sorry
hear
about this.
you.
Okay, I had a very bad connection, so I wanted to connect with a different device to see if it makes a difference. Hello, Istanbul University. I hope all is well.
All is well, Dr.
Oh, as well. Thank you, Dr. Oskan.
Istanbul Aydin University and ITS has had very good cooperative relations in the past, and we look forward to developing these cooperations
All is
in this.
well.
So let me start by introducing our university shortly. But start with Turkey, maybe, where we are located. Istanbul Aydin University is in Istanbul, Turkey. Of course, Turkey is a country with 85 million in population. We are quite a large country, number 17 in the world, in fact, for population. And we have quite a young population with median age at 31. So our challenge is to give a good education to our young students, many of them in university. right now, and many of them are having blended or online education at the moment due to the pandemic. Now, Turkey has 7 quite different regions and 81 cities. The capital city is Ankara, right in the center of Turkey, but the largest city of Istanbul, where we are located right now. Here's a nice picture of Istanbul. This is the Bosphorus Bridge over the Bosphorus Strait, connecting 2 continents, Asia and Europe. So this is really a symbol of the Turkish culture and the symbol of Istanbul as well, because it's Asia and partly in Europe. And we just combine so many different regions with their different culture and traditions. So Balkans in the west, Caucasus in the northern eastern part of Turkey, then Middle East and Eastern Mediterranean to the southeast of us. So we are sitting right in the middle of these different regions, such a rich combination of cultures and history. Turkey is surrounded by seas on 3 different sides. And we have the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, the Aegean Sea, and there's also an inland sea, Marmara Sea. And the Turkish Straits here running right in the middle of Istanbul, you see in this picture. So it's a really, really nice view. I know for those who visit us in Istanbul, you know, these are the classic scenes from the city. Our beautiful mosques with their tall and very narrow minarets. Of course, Istanbul is not just a very historical and touristic city, it's also a modern city. It's the business, finance, and culture capital of Turkey, honestly. So many activities all the time going on. We have 20 million people in our population, but again, so many tourists visiting every summer so that the population increases. Of course, lots of historical monuments because of our 2000 years of history. This has been the capital of 3 empires. So you see beautiful mosques, churches, all kinds of beautiful buildings like aqueducts from Roman times, etc. So there's so much to see in Istanbul. Now, as Istanbul Aydin University, we were founded in 2003 in Istanbul. So we are quite a young university, but we have already close to 40,000 students, almost 50,000 alumni, and we have 6,000 international students. We have 13 campuses, all of them in Istanbul. One of them is this large sort of main campus that you see in the picture here. It's called Florya campus, and it houses all our faculties, our rectorate, our international offices here, all the student clubs, and we have our hospital, faculty hospital, dentistry clinics, everything. So it's quite a large campus. So our academic organization is, we have, of course, a big graduate school delivering master's and doctorate programs. We have 12 faculties, School of Foreign Languages, School of Applied Sciences, vocational schools, and research centers, lifelong learning center, online learning center. So you can tell that it's a very comprehensive university. If you look at the faculties, we teach most of the disciplines, but I have highlighted here 2 faculties which are of special interest to international students. Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences and Faculty of Engineering teach most of their programs in English. So this is where most of our international students are. So again, mostly preferred by our exchange students as well. Let me talk about how we are organized and what we are doing internationally. So we have 6,000 full-time international students from 114 different countries. They come from all over the world, but majority of them, of course, come from the neighboring countries, in the Caucasus, in the Middle East, in Europe, some of them come from, but we also have students from, of course, Africa, Asia, all over the world. So we are very happy to welcome them on our campus for full-time studies. We also have international cooperations, almost 450 universities. Most of them are in Europe through the Erasmus program, because Turkey is part of the European higher education area, and we conduct most of our academic exchanges with European universities under the Erasmus scheme. But we also have bilateral agreements with universities from all around the world, and we run short-term programs in connection with our partners. The bilateral student exchange program is based on about 200 cooperation protocols that we have, and we welcome and send a group of exchange students every year. This is a semester-based program, and we accept applications twice a year for the fall semester, for the spring semester. It is possible to come for the one full year. And usually, like I said, the exchange students come to the English medium programs, business, international relations, foreign trade, and English language and literature, and of course the engineering programs such as computer engineering, software engineering, mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, etc. There are quotas for students who come with the exchange program, 2 students from each partner every year, but there is a complete fee waiver. So the students don't have to pay Istanbul Aydin University any fees at all. They just enroll in their home university like ITS, and then come and do 1 semester or 2 semesters with us. Then they go back to their home university and finish their studies there, and they make no payments to Istanbul Aydin University for the exchange program. So this is how that works. So when we have, of course, on-campus normal sort of education, we have quite a multilateral campus, multicultural campus. Like I said, we have full-time students. We welcome exchange students in the year. So every year we have events, festivals, where we celebrate the different cultures and countries of our international students. In the spring, we have this festival on our garden. Students have their little booths for their country. They bring food and music and costumes from their culture and share it with their student peers. So another program that we run, and this has been very popular with ITS students in the past, yes, our short-term study programs, because you know what, sometimes not every student is able to go on a semester-long or academic year-long exchange to a different country. There are quota limitations, maybe there are other sort of family responsibilities, etc. So in order to give many students from our partner institutions to come and see Istanbul, to come and visit our campus, we have started these short-term programs. They are only 2 weeks, but there's an academic component, there's a cultural component. Students come either in the summer or in the winter for 2 weeks, take 1 course with us, and they get to experience a little bit of the Turkish culture, the Turkish hospitality, get to know a little bit about Istanbul, etc. So, so far, you know, we have more than 500 students come and enjoy our short-term study programs. We call them Delightful Istanbul. And again, usually under normal circumstances, when we have these programs on campus, you know, we have a lot of activities for these students. We arrange their accommodation. They stay together in student dormitories near the campus. They come every day to the campus for their classes in the mornings. Then in the afternoons, we take them around Istanbul to historic sites, to cultural sites. We do a Bosphorus boat tour in the weekend. So it's a really fun experience. Although it's a short time, they really get to know our city a little bit. And then they also make long-lasting friendships with their peers joining the program from different countries. So it's a really nice cultural experience for them. Now, of course, this pandemic changed everything for all of us, you know, and we decided to move most of our international programs online so that at least students will have a virtual exchange or a virtual cultural experience. So we first moved our delightful Istanbul summer school online, and we now did our winter school online, and we offered them courses where our professors met with the students every day and had like Zoom interactions for the teaching part. And then we, of course, also provided some materials, some videos, some readings for them to learn about Istanbul too. So we try to also create a virtual cultural experience for our delightful students. We call them delightfulers. And we also moved our exchange program to a virtual mode as well. We did this in the fall semester, and we are now doing it in the spring semester. Again, 2 students from each partner university. Of course, they stay, unfortunately, at home in their home university, and they take their own courses, but they do some webinars to, again, give them an idea about Turkish culture and teach them a little bit about Istanbul. So they do virtual tours in the city, and they also get learning and a transcript for the course that they complete. If they complete the course successfully, it's possible to listen to all the lectures throughout the semester, synchronous lectures, as well as asynchronous supporting materials for the course, and then all course online, and then transfer the credit back to the home university, maybe as an elective course, right? Plus they get to have the certificate of intercultural learning, which always looks very nice on the CV. Now, what's our upcoming program? Delightful Istanbul Summer 2021. We know the dates. The dates are the first 2 weeks of August. But of course, we don't know if it's possible to do it on campus, or do we have to do it again virtually? I don't know. We'll let our partners know. Wahyu, you will be the first to know, my friend.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Aisa.
Yeah, so if we do it on campus, we will again arrange the accommodation and we will, do all the sightseeing tours and everything. But if we have to do it virtually, then again, we will offer the courses online, and we will also do some virtual city tours, some extra webinars, etc. So this is the plan. Maybe it will be something hybrid. I don't know. I mean, I'm open to suggestions from our partner universities here as well, right? So we can maybe offer one course on campus and then offer a couple of more courses online. So students may have, I don't know, the chance to choose whatever fits them. So thank you so much for listening to me. I hope that I could provide some useful information for you. I hope to see both the staff of the international office at ITS again in Istanbul. You have visited, right? And I also hope to see the students on our campus as well. Hopefully, shortly after the pandemic, all the programs will be open again on our campus for international exchange students and delightfulers coming from ITS. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aise. Just quick information before go to the MC. Yes, 2 days ago we had meeting with Dr. Aise's staff, namely Miss Mariana. I just want to inform the
Yes.
teacher to my student that we still have a slot for Erasmus Plus Cooperation and Exchange. So for batch 2019 and 2020, please prepare your TOEFL or IELTS or anything because start on next year, we will open again for the Erasmus not virtual, physically exchange to Istanbul Aydin University with Erasmus Plus cooperation, with Erasmus Plus scholarship. So it's really huge. So prepare your GPA and TOEFL, everything from now on, starting from next year, not this year. Thank you.
Yeah.
I go back to the MC.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rozkan and Mr. Wahyu. Very informative and interesting. Now that we see our both universities here have the same specialties but different focuses, that makes the program much more interesting. And then for participants, if you have any questions, you can ask them later in the panel discussion session. Also, I want to remind you to fill the attendance form because I just got an information that many of you haven't filled them yet because it's a requirement to get stamp for it. So for the next presentation is by Dr. Christine Ferrer, Director of International Linkages and International Affairs of Tarlac Agricultural University, or TAU. And TAU is certified by Commission of Higher Education on its 2 colleges as the Center of Development in Agriculture. Educator, the time is yours.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Am I
Yeah.
loud and clear? I'm sorry we are encountering internet instability because of a typhoon here in the Philippines. So I
Yes, we
hope
have
I
you
can
clearly.
deliver the. You
Can hear
can
you
hear
clearly.
me, Wayu?
So clearly.
I
Okay,
can hear
thank
you,
you.
Dr. Ferrer.
Okay, so thank you. So let me present to you this short presentation about my school and my country, the Philippines. Whether my proposal now is for you to have virtual mobility in my university, but I hope that in the next years, you'll be able to come to Tarlac Agricultural University and experience hospitality among Filipinos. So here is my university. So Tarlac Agricultural University is situated in central Luzon. It's about 3 hours away north of Manila, and the nearest airport at Tarlac Agricultural University is the Clark International Airport, which is based in Clark, Pampanga. We have about 6,000 student population with more than 200 faculty and more than 200 non-academic staff. And for you to know more about my institution, here is our corporate video.
Tarlac Agricultural University prides itself as the first state college in the country to be converted into a university through the merit evaluation system of the Commission on Higher Education. We have also established our reputation as a center of development in agriculture education and as a center of excellence in teacher education. As of this academic year, we are serving about 5,000 undergraduate and graduate students from Tarlac and other provinces. Tarlac Agricultural University primarily provides advanced education, higher technological professional instruction and training in the fields of agriculture, agribusiness management, science and technology, engineering, teacher education, non-traditional courses, and other relevant fields of study. It also undertakes research, extension, services, and production activities in support of the development of the province of Tarlac, and provides leadership in its areas of specialization.
Thing that I like most about IAU is the culture that it has, the accommodating people.
Looking at the and kindness, starting from the president to the student, they are all good to me.
chose TAU because I know that this university has the quality education and
The qualifications of the faculty members here are high. Professors here are highly qualified.
I believe that this university has the ability to cater the needs of the student, to impart enough knowledge, wisdom, experiences, and opportunities in order for me to immerse myself not just within the university, also in the community as well.
Tarlac Agricultural University is a good place for me to study because I did agriculture in my secondary and I went to agriculture college. So I was actually found in a good place where they pursue only agriculture, and I found Tarlac to be the ideal place for me to do my course.
Here in Tarlac Agricultural University, we students can develop our academic performance and also skills and talent through co-curricular and extracurricular activities. We can hone our interests also in learning teams, and also you can join any organizations in our Tarlac University.
IAU is known for its graduates in agriculture. In fact, our agriculture graduates are very much in demand here and abroad. Our education graduates also makes their name in various schools. Similarly, our veterinarians, genetic engineers, and IT graduates are very marketable.
I commend the Tarlac Agricultural University for its sustained efforts of promoting the students' welfare in providing conducive learning environment for them to develop their full potentials while celebrating their differences and their diversity in culture and traditions.
The values that I gained from Tarlac Agricultural University, it prepared me to be responsible, achieving my goals in the future. I believe Tarlac Agriculture has a great factor in our life as a professional right now.
We at TAU remain committed in harnessing, developing, and catalyzing conversion of the full potentials and capabilities of the students into becoming responsible and competent professionals in agriculture and allied disciplines, anchored in our core values: integrity, excellence, and service. We shall realize our vision as one of the top 500 agricultural universities in Asia.
Partners are from Indonesia, of course, including ITS. We have started receiving inbound students since 2017, and we have also sent students abroad in Southeast Asia. Our next video will be about my country, Philippines, so you know what to expect whenever you find the chance to come and visit my country.
It's more fun fun in the Philippines. It's more fun in the Philippines. Philippine Islands. It's more fun in the Philippines.
virtually, and you'll get more of it when you'll get a chance to come to the Philippines. So, my programs. I also received about 4
Your voice breaking.
students from 7 universities in Indonesia.
Doctor, I'm
Could
sorry that your voice is not clear.
I'll just move headset if it will better this time. Why is my voice okay better now than a while ago?
It's better. Now it's better.
Can you hear me? Or is it too loud? Okay, I turn off my camera.
Okay, it's better. Yeah.
Okay, is it better now than a while ago?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Let me stop sharing first. Okay, hello. Why is it clearer now?
Yes, Dr. Farah, it is clear.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I will reshare my screen. Okay, so as I was discussing a while ago, we have started with our virtual student mobility program last semester. And then you can find a list of our courses which are available this semester in this link, which I will be sharing to our chat box. these are the features of our international mobility program. This is a one semester credit transfer program. You don't have to pay tuition fee. It's waived. You can attend synchronous and asynchronous classes via Google Meet and Google Classroom. And you can apply via your international office. We are giving 5 free slots for ITS every semester. So what are the requirements of the program? Of course, you need to fill up a student exchange application form, which I sent to YU. The official transcript of records at home university, you can submit this later. The learning agreement to be filled up by our international office, certificate of language proficiency if available, but if not, we can give you the link of our online English assessment test. And you need to be endorsed by your head of institution. Okay, so I will be sending you the link of the available courses this semester so that you can at least check if you are interested in some of our courses. You can enroll in 2 to 3 subjects, and you don't have to worry for the fee. If in case there are more than 5 applicants and you are also qualified, I can consider adding more slots to ITS. So that's all it is. And if you have questions, just ask me later. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation, Dr. Ferrer. This is also very interesting because in ITS, we don't really focus on agriculture, but we do have science and technology and engineering. So it's always a great chance to study new things through programs like exchange and programs that you have mentioned. And now I want to remind the participants again that if you have any questions, you can ask them in the panel discussion session later. Okay, the last presentation today will be brought to you by Mr. Michel Legault as the Director of International Partnerships in Université de Technologie de Troyes. And the UTT is one of the 8 members of the Rennes University of Technology and is ranked among top 10 engineering schools in France. Mr. Legault, the time is yours.
Okay, well, thank you very much for inviting us today for this event. Can you see my screen now?
Yes,
okay, good.
Can see yours.
Good. Okay, so first a few words about the city of Troyes where UTT is. It's a medium-sized medieval kind of city. It has like 2,000 years of history. You can see in the picture some typical half-timbered houses. Troyes used to be the economical center of Europe. Nowadays, it's famous for its monuments, foods, and clothing brand names like Lacoste. If you know the Lacoste clothes, it's the brand with the crocodile. And it's a quiet and a safe place to study, especially engineering, as we are an engineering school. Now, the campus itself is about, well, is on the outskirts of the city. It's about a 15-minute drive by bus or by bicycle. You can use your bicycle. You see the main building highlighted in blue with the surfaces of the building that belong to Troyes. Here, you can see some accommodation, student accommodation. And we have the sports hall here. And we have some buildings here that we have access to. It's the science park. It doesn't belong to UTT, but we have access to these buildings. Now, about the number of students, we're a small, in fact, university. Again, it's very convenient to study engineering. You have the number of students that take a Master's of Engineering. It's a 5-year program. We also have Masters of Science students, and we also have some PhD students. 1 student out of 4 is an international student at UTT from 50 nationalities. We host several international students, of which some are exchange students and others are degree seekers. It depends on the agreements we have with the institution. Some will come for a double degree and some will come for the full degree at UTT. To give you an idea of the programs we offer for engineering, for example, so again, there are 5-year programs. We have control and computer engineering, industrial systems, materials science and technology, and materials and mechanical engineering. For the first 3, we have for each of them some specialization that the students will take in the final year. For the materials and mechanical engineering, it's a co-op program. Unfortunately, it's not open for exchange students because it's not on the same campus. Other programs that we offer also, we have mechanical engineering, information systems and informatics, and networks and telecommunication. Again, these are engineering degrees that we offer. Exchange students are welcome on these programs. And again, for each of these programs, you have some specializations that the students can take in the final year of the program. For our Masters of Science degrees, there are 2-year programs, but you need to have a bachelor's degree prior to attending those programs. We have 3 different study fields. And for each of these fields, a program that is worth mentioning. For example, for complex system engineering, we have a program in system security and optimization, which is delivered in Argentina. It's the UTT degree, but it's delivered in Argentina. For applied physics and engineering, we have the NanoFut program, which is part of our graduate school. And this program is taught in English, which is convenient to foreign students. And we have another program in the field of risk and environment, which is health, safety, and environment, and it's delivered in Mozambique. Now, for each of these programs that I've just mentioned, there is at least a semester that has to be done at a company. For the engineering programs, all of our students who are degree seekers, they need to take 2 6-month internship at companies. And for the master's degrees, the 2-year programs, there's 1 6-month internship. Now, it's possible also for exchange students to take an internship at a company as long as they have taken a full semester of studies prior to going on an internship. And some internships can be done in English also, especially the ones that are in Paris. We host students from all over the world. We have agreements with which several are again, the students are welcome for a semester of studies as exchange students, and they can extend to a second semester of studies, a full year of studies at UTT, or they can take a semester of studies and an internship at a company, or eventually they can take an internship in one of our labs. For the students, well, we have different, I would say, equipment for them to study, like the library. We have some study stations in the library and outside the library for the students to get together and work. We have some industrial workshops to do the work that is related to some of the classes. And one lean management lab, again, to put in practice some There's also some space that is called the Mind Lab where the students can get together and discuss their projects or projects that have a link to classes or personal projects that they would like to.
Sorry to interrupt, but your voice sometimes is missing and we can't hear you sometimes.
I'm sorry, you say that.
Your voice is sometimes missing
Are
and
can
audible.
okay, I'm sorry about this.
Now it's
Okay,
clear.
I'm sorry.
Now it's clear.
Okay, okay,
Okay. Now you are very clear. Okay.
okay.
Please continue, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and besides where the students they can discuss their projects, they can go to the Mind Tech where they have access to material and equipment to develop their projects. I told you about our PhD school. So three different fields that you can see on the screen. Our premises for research. This is the latest laboratories that were open in 2016. We have 5 research teams there, and in these we have 8 clean rooms. So all the space is dedicated to research. These are the different teams that will do research with their specialization. So we have about 250 faculty members that do research. Now, more important, I would say, for the incoming exchange students, we work on the basis of a one-stop shop. That is to say, all international students, if they have questions or any of their concerns, they can go to the international office where they will meet with our staff that will help them solve their issues. When they come to UTT, there is no restriction on the course selection. Most courses are taught in French, but some courses are taught in English. You will be able to find a list on our website. Our system at UTT is that the students can pick and choose courses. There are no set courses for certain years, so students are really free to pick and choose, and so that they can custom make their curriculum. Again, the international students, they can take an internship at a French company after they have attended a full semester of studies at UTT, or they can go and do an internship at in one of our labs. If they go to an internship at a French company, they will get a salary. It's in the law. It's an obligation to pay the students that take internships. The amounts are not that huge, but it helps to pay for the rent and for food. Prior to each semester, we offer an intensive 1-month French language course to all international students. So it helps them, I would say, to integrate in the French way of life. And we have a buddy system, which in fact is a system where we match a French student with a foreign student, so they can help them, they can tour them around, they can help them find a way around at the UTT. They can also help them understand the system, the way of life in France. Now, some information that would be of interest to visiting students. Accommodation, you have the average price per month there. The meals, the amount of money per month to buy your food. A meal, the average price at the university restaurant. And then you have some, for visiting students, they need to pay for the insurance. It's a civil liability kind of insurance. In fact, it's an obligation to get your accommodation. The application deadlines, so for the spring semester, it's the 15th of October, and for the fall semester, it's the 15th of May. This is a picture of the UTT's residence, and you have the ground floor, the front door of the university restaurant. Besides studies at UTT, students have access to clubs and associations. This is an example of one of the activities that the students can take. It's theater, so it's a theater club. So you have other types of activities, like this is the music club. We also have activities that are more, I would say, the science kind of activities. This is a club of students that will build a vehicle that take parts into competitions, national or international competitions. We also have sports. I showed you at the beginning of my presentation the sports hall. This is a view of the inside of the sports hall. There's a climbing wall in the background. It's the tallest indoor structure of home. So students can take all sorts of sports activities. There are team sports. There are also sports that are more like fitness kind of activities or individual kind of activities. We also have sports activities that will take place outside the UTT wall. Like, for example, we have a sailing team.
Sir, I'm sorry, your voice is missing.
And we also organize some activities for students, like a ski trip every year. It's possible for the visiting students to take part in the ski trip as well. And we have special events like the gala that takes place every year at the end of the year. So you can follow us on the usual media, and you're most welcome to UTT. I'm sorry about the quality of this sound. If you want to, if you need more information, you can contact us through this email address, or you can visit our site for more information. So your students are most welcome to apply. Currently, we're like everyone else. The classes are delivered in a hybrid kind of mode. Some classes are delivered remotely, and some classes are delivered face to face on the campus. And we expect the situation to return to normal as soon as possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Riku. And maybe, Mr. Wahyu, do you have anything to add?
No, that's it for me as far as I'm concerned. So I'll be happy to answer questions.
Okay. Yes, yes. Just want to add that for the student action, we already open application first. Yeah, Laura.
Yes.
You may start.
I'm sorry. Okay. Time for our next agenda today, which is panel discussion. You can drop your questions in the chat room using the available format. And I will read all your questions and they will be answered by our representatives here. Okay, is my voice clear?
Yes, yes, it is
Okay.
clear.
Okay, so I will read your questions and they will be answered by our representatives. Or you can also raise your hand and speak when I allow you to. So are there any questions? Okay, while we are waiting for the questions, I want to ask, on this online situation, is student exchange or summer programs, the fee, is it still the same? What about Istanbul Aydin University?
Hello. Yeah, to answer your question, virtual programs are, as we announced this year, it's normally $100 for the short-term programs, but $80 reduced fee for our partner universities, which would be the case for ITS. So, but if we do it physically, I don't know the price because that depends on the accommodation.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Oskan. What about Tarlac Agricultural University?
Okay,
Is
so
there any
for
difference in
Tarlac
fee between online and offline?
Yeah, okay. So for Tarlac Agricultural University, if it is a physical short-term program, we usually charge about $400 to $500 for a month of the program. But for virtual mobility, we offer it for free.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ferrer. And lastly, for Mr. Leco,
For
what about the difference in fees?
virtual
Okay.
mobility,
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. The in fact, the fees.
Yes, yes.
Well, okay, the fees for international students, if they come as exchange students, there's no fee for there are no tuition fees. Okay, the students pay for their accommodation, they pay for their food, but there's no tuition fees. That's for the semester of studies. For the short French intensive program, it's also free. I mean, there's no tuition fees. And again, the students have to pay for accommodation, food, and all their personal expenses. Could you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so no tuition fees for exchange students.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Leco. And so next question is, how do international students usually adapt there? Do they need to learn the language if they study there? Is it expensive for the living? And then because each country here has a different climate, language, and tradition, how do international students usually adapt?
Do you want me to start?
Yes, you may start first.
Okay. So on average, we say that students, they need about 600 euros per month to make a living in France. I don't know exactly how much this is in the Indonesian currency, but they need about 600 euros. They need also, if they want to attend classes that are taught in French, they need to have a B1 level of French. It doesn't have to be an official certificate as long as they tell us that they have the B1 level, it's okay. For the classes that are taught in English, it's the same. They need a B1 level of English. And again, we don't require an official certificate. Now, to adapt to French life, as I said earlier, we help them through the two things, the fact that we have the one-stop shop. So every time they have a question or they need help, they can come to the international office. And the second thing is the buddy system, where we put, well, we pair or match the students, the international students with local students so that they can help the international students. We also have an association that helps international students. They organize activities throughout the year. They help for the welcome part of the students. We have activities also in the first week where we host the new students. We organize activities such as special meals for the international students. If they come for the 1 month intensive French, we tour them around. We have activities, also special activities to discover the culture. So there are different kind of things that are organized for international students. Usually, because we are a very small university, only about 3,000 students, it's very simple for international students to find their way around and to adapt to the French way of life.
Okay, Mr. Lehut, I just want to add that we also have the buddy system here where Indonesian students are paired with groups of international students to help them adapt in the new environment. So what about Tarlac Agricultural University?
Okay, thank
Dr.
you,
Farah,
Laura.
can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Laura?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so in
Yes,
terms
I can
of
hear you well.
the environment, we almost have the same weather with Indonesia. It's hot also here in the Philippines. And in terms of campus life, yes, we also give them their peers or buddies. And for if it is a physical mobility, if it is a semestral exchange program, they don't have to pay tuition, and at the same time we don't charge accommodation fees for a limited number of students from our partners, but of course they take care of their own food. So for a regular physical exchange program, usually we give 2 slots per partner university for the student to stay with us for the whole semester. And then for short-term program, that is where we charge students about 200, about 400 to $500, which would cover everything, that the field trips, the study tours, the food, as well as the accommodation, and of course the honorarium of the faculty who will be handling them. Um, Tarlac is not so near the city, so the students might feel a bit boring because of course it's an agricultural university. But every weekend we bring them somewhere for tourism sightseeing so that they can also have a taste of the tourism side of the Philippines. So that's it. Thank you, Laura.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Farah. And so your campus is a bit to the rural side of the city. Am I right?
Yes, we have to travel about an hour so
Oh,
they
yeah.
can go to malls. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually pretty interesting. And what about the last university, Istanbul Aydin University, with Dr. Özkan? How do international students adapt in Turkey?
So for short-term programs, I mean, it's just 2 weeks anyway. So we are together with our students. We have student bodies. You know, all the students who participate in the program stay in the same dormitory. They go on trips together. We help them, you know, with volunteer students. So, I mean, that's easy. Now, for the exchange semester, of course, again, they come and have an orientation program. You know, we can assign student mentors or buddies during the orientation program. It's an optional thing. You know, once they meet the volunteer bodies during the orientation program, they may continue to meet with them or ask them questions. it's up to them. It's not a mandatory sort of partnership, but usually the students, the volunteer students during the orientation program, they will make a WhatsApp group. And if exchange students have a problem, or if they have a question about where to buy something, or whatever, they can just use those WhatsApp groups very quickly to find information, to use, to get practical information about things. Also, Turkish culture being as hospitable as it is, everybody on campus is really willing to help international students. It's already a big international student community on campus anyway. They help each other out. And the international office staff is always available to help with bigger sort of administrative problems, or things with, bureaucratic issues or whatever. So they're always there to help.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Özkan. Very interesting also, because we also have volunteers in our international office or ITS global engagement. And so I want to remind again for participants, you can drop your questions in the chat room with the available format. I will read your questions and they will be answered by our representatives. Or you can raise your hand and wait until I call your name and let you speak. So we have two people here with, I think I will read question from NG first, and then I will go to Diago. Okay. So there's a question from NG Putri Octavia. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, and I am really interested to join your program. Regarding the opportunity for us ITS students to join the program in your university, will it be done online or offline? If it is held offline, how is the regulation regarding that in your country? Or maybe about the pandemic, the travel regulations, how is it currently in your country? I think I will begin with Dr. Ferrer.
Hello, Laura. I'm sorry, you were asking something.
Yes, the question
I'm
is in
sorry.
the chat room by NG Putri Octavia.
Okay. Will it be? Okay, so for now, the program is offered online, the virtual mobility program. It's both synchronous and asynchronous. You will have online classes at the same time. There will also be days that you have to answer modules and other activities. So usually we do online classes once a week, and for the rest of the week, they answer their modules, which can be found in their Google. We use the Google Workspace, so we use Google Classroom and Google Meet. And each exchange student will be given an email account by Tarlac Agricultural University. Did I answer it right?
Okay, thank you for the answer.
Thank you.
Yes. And then because we have little time left, I will move to Diago, who raised his hand. You may speak now and ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Let me introduce myself. My name is Diego, and this question is specifically to Mr. Legot. So I would like to ask you for the bachelor's degree exchange. I see that there are some degrees that consist of like two different subjects. Let's say like the material science and technology, or material and mechanical engineering. I would like to say, is that two subjects has like the same value, or one of them is a major and the other one is a minor? And for the second question, I would like to say, I would like to ask, does it need to be related to my major here if I want to exchange there? Let's say if I'm studying chemical engineering, can I apply for the mechanical or the information system or something like that? Thank you, sir.
Okay, to answer to your first question about the two subjects, for example, materials and technology, I would say there's no none of the subject is more important than the other. Okay, they're of equal value. It's more a question for you to have a look at our site to see exactly what we do in these programs. Now, for exchange students, well, if there's no link between your program at your home institution and the programs we offer, no direct link, it's not an issue. What we do, in fact, is we help students choose their classes according to their background. So we have, for example, if you came to UTT, the program in material science has a link with chemistry, with physics. So it would be possible with your background to take classes in this program. Now, one last thing you have to know is that we don't really give admission to students in a program. We give admission to the students at UTT, and then you can pick and choose any class that fit your needs. So you have a look at the catalog and you can pick any class that would fit your need. So it's just a question of finding the right class. Does that answer your question?
Yes, very much, Mr. Legot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the question and answer. And now we will go to the last question for this panel discussion session. It's a question in the chat room, Sias Ratri. What should I prepare for the online international exposure, which is very different with offline activities? I think for the last one, we should go with Dr. Oskan.
It is different when we have an online course during the semester. So if a student is attending as an exchange semester and taking the full course online, I'm sure it's a similar system. There's a learning management system where you can access synchronous lectures, and then you have supporting materials, videos, readings that the student can follow, in a manner, at a time when he or she is available. So that's completely the student's planning. And then the midterm and the final is online. Again, there are regulations of how to take these, exams. They are safe, and we have systems to make sure that the student is not plagiarizing. Some of them are assignments, take home, done at home. Some of them are like really exams. Like I said, the final exam is usually an exam. But again, I'm sure the students will find this not so difficult now because they had some experience with online teaching and learning during the pandemic. All students all over the world did. Of course, there is much more responsibility now on the students, right? When you are doing an online course, you have to manage your time, you have to take responsibility when to do synchronous, when to do asynchronous preparation for the course, and how to prepare for the exams without maybe the support of other students. Because when you do teaching on campus, students have groups, they go to the library together, study together. I mean, there's more motivation and discipline when you do it on campus. When you do it offline, the student has to take more responsibility. They have to have more self-discipline for their learning. Now with the short courses, when you do it online, it's just 2 weeks, just a couple of lectures. They're all synchronous, and we do live webinars as well for the cultural aspect of it. That's not difficult. Again, for the short-term courses, the testing it's not an exam. It's usually presentations or written assignments or teamwork, project presentations, things like that. So when we do a short-term program in the summer or winter, it's easy, it's fun, that's not a huge problem. But if you do an online course the whole semester, the student has to have, I'm afraid, more responsibility for their own learning. But so far, in my own experience, students coming from Indonesia have motivation for learning, they have discipline. We are always very happy with all these students from Indonesia and ITS in particular when they come and study with us. They are always very successful, so no worries.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Oskan, for the answer. Okay, so that's it for the panel discussion session. And now to further find out about the university that you are interested in, we are about to divide you into 3 breakout rooms. The first room is for IAU or Istanbul Aydin University with Dr. Oskan. And the second room is for Tarlac Agricultural University with Dr. Ferrer. And the third room is for University de Technologie de Troyes with Mr. Lepo. You can change your display name into university name underscore your name underscore student number as sent by the committee in the chat room. And then after you change your display name, the committee will move you to your room of choice. Okay, you can change your display name now. Okay, I see some of you here has already changed their display name. And the host can help them move to their room. And I will repeat again, room 1 is for Istanbul Aydin University. You can add IAU in front of your display name. And for the second room, you can add TAU for Tarlac Agricultural University. And the last room, you can add UTT for University de Technologie de Troyes. And then the committee will move you to your desired room. And I also want to tell you that if the session has ended in your room, you can return to the main room, not leave the meeting room. You can return to the main room for the next agenda. Okay, the committee is opening the breakout room. You will be arranged into breakout rooms very, very soon.
start his session. Okay. Hi guys, good afternoon. It's nice to see all of you in this breakout room. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dea Amaris Milenia, and you can call me Milan. I am a volunteer in ITS Global Engagement, and I will be your moderator to guide our discussion in this session. Thank you so much, Dr. Christine and Ferrer, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join this event with us today. And please forgive me if I'm mistaken in spelling your name. Dr. Christine N. Ferrer is a Director, External Linkage and International Affairs in Tarlac Agricultural University, TAU, Philippines. Hello, Dr. Christine. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Good evening. It's already evening here in the Philippines, and I
Oh,
understand we are 1 hour ahead of Indonesia.
oh, it's nice to see. It's nice to know if we have a 1 hour difference.
Yes.
In the previous session, you guys already get insights about TAU and opportunities to join program with TAU. So for the next 20 minutes, you can ask more detailed questions related to TAU or programs you can join. Or maybe who previously haven't had the opportunity to ask questions and are still confused, don't hesitate and don't be unconfident. Just ask the questions using the raise hand feature or using the chat box you're meeting. And I want to remind all of you to drop your questions using the format name underscore and RP underscore questions. Okay, let's take advantage of this session to get as much information as possible about Tarlac Agricultural University or TAU, so that later you won't be confused anymore when willing to register to related programs. Okay, while waiting for the
Yeah.
participants to ask questions and maybe still preparing about the sentences, maybe I will ask some questions to Dr. Kristen for the beginning of the session. Okay, how life college there? I mean, how to adapt to the new environment, especially because we have different climate, language, tradition, and etc. Thank you.
Yeah, we have the same climate actually because Philippines is also an archipelago and we are neighbors in Southeast Asia. So it's also we also have temperate climate here in the Philippines. We also experience typhoon, flood, especially during the months of June until December. And because of of climate changes, like now it's just February, but we have the first typhoon entering our country. So my internet signal is not so good this time. In terms of people, Filipinos are very accommodating. They're very friendly, like Indonesians. And by history, we are brothers and sisters because some of our ancestors are Indonesians. That's why in our language, in our local language, we have many words in common like payong. Payong is also umbrella. And in the Philippines, we also have kambing. And even our ways of counting, there are a lot of words that are the same, especially with us who are living here in Central Luzon. And they say that in our place, Indonesians are our ancestors, and so we easily get along with your nationality because we have many things in common, and we are also very kind. We love food, and I understand Indonesians love spicy food. They want a lot of chili in their food. Yeah, I have hosted Indonesian students over the past 3 years, and I can say that you are one of the best students that we handle because of the closeness of our culture, the sincerity of people. We call them anak. Anak here is also son or daughter. We call it anak also here. And um, Filipinos are you can easily get along with our Filipino students. They are humble, they are very jolly, and just like you, they also love to go around and eat food, something like that. In terms of, well, of course, online instruction is very much different as compared to the physical mobility that we have had before, because of course, you cannot be with them physically. So what you can expect in our virtual classes is that, of course, you will be being with them. The medium of instruction here in the Philippines is English. You'll be given group assignments. You will be asked to present your reports or do a simple research. So these are the things that we do in our classes. We meet once a week for virtual classes, and the other on also another day in the week for doing the modules of our students, and they also submit it online. Sometimes we also give project-based learning to our students to do community-based projects. So that's how we did it last semester. And for the second semester, all of our classes are still done virtually. Our students are not allowed to go to school. Okay. There's a question here. TA is specialized, and in that university, the curriculum is arranged to be related to agricultural study. So even though I study statistics, I would also study in agriculture. Does this help? Well, while we are an agriculture specialized university, there are other programs wherein statistics is also related to education. There is also a statistics which is related to business. So when you are enrolled a particular program, you check in which department it is offered. So I sent you the list of the open subjects for this semester. Last semester, I offered many subjects. However, I learned my lesson that I also need to choose the teachers who will be delivering that subjects, because I have to ensure quality of learning such that only the teachers who are relaying our virtual mobility students, if they are not committed to do it, then we did not include their subjects for our virtual mobility programs. So I can assure you that for all the classes that are offered here, the teachers are very much open to welcome you, despite the fact that our classes have already started last week of January. We can wait for you until next week so that you can join our classes by the first day of March. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kristen, for your nice answer. And we have one more question from Sakar. Thank you, Sakar, for your questions. So I'm from Statistic Department, and in Indonesia, we also have Agriculture University. And in that university, the curriculum is arranged to be related to agriculture study. So even though I study statistics, I will also study agriculture. Does this also happen in TAU?
I'm sorry, this was the question that I answered a while ago. I skipped the first one. I'm sorry. Is it the same? So I already answered the second question. I have to go back to the first question. So as I mentioned, I wanna ask about how the agricultural technology is there, and do they give attention to the technology of the agricultural world? Yes, we have established several programs with our partners. We have infused agricultural mechanization in our studies. We explored the use of technology as it is applied to agriculture. And of course, we integrate the elements of sustainable development goals. So you see, we are giving technology and at the same time making the world sustainable through the programs which are related to agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for your answer. So we have
Yes.
another questions here. So Indonesian is as well as a Muslim country. So we have the same climate and maybe the same tradition and maybe the same culture. But in Indonesia, as a Muslim, we have to eat halal food. So I want to ask, what about halal food in Filipina? Thank you.
Yes, we also consider that offering halal food, and we also have a research actually on halal with our partner institution in Mindanao, where Muslim Filipinos are living, and with the partner university in Malaysia, University Kebangsaan, Malaysia, to make sure that halal food will be available to our Indonesian students. Of course, because of the pandemic, it would not be possible for a physical mobility this time. But in the past, of course, we were able to help our students to secure that their food is halal certified.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. And I want to remind all the participants, if you have any questions to Dr. Christine, please just ask it. You can use the recent feature or you can use the chat box Zoom meeting using the format name underscore NRP and underscore questions. So while waiting for the next questions, I have one questions here. Every university has different plans in its study system. Can you explain the unique study system at your university? Thank you.
What's that? Come again, B?
Okay, I think I will repeat it again. Every university has different plans in its study system. Can you explain the unique systems at your university?
Okay, unit system. Okay, so
Unique
each
study system.
unit study system.
Yes.
Unique study system. Okay, for Philippine higher education, 4 years. There are also which are offered for 5 years and 6 years. Is that what you are referring? Study system?
Maybe like the system in teaching.
I'm sorry?
Maybe the system in academic.
Is that academic system? What particular area of academics are you referring to? The curriculum, the units?
Yes, curriculum.
Okay, so for curriculum, the curriculum are arranged. We have core subjects which are prescribed by the Ministry of Higher Education, and that is true to all academic programs. And we also have specialized courses which is relevant to the field of specialization. Usually, a subject is equivalent to 3 units, and the students have a coursework of 3 hours per week. 4 subjects which have laboratories, that's equivalent to 5 units.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kristen, for your answer. So we have another questions in the chat box Zoom from Angie. Thank you, Angie, for your questions. Hello, Dr. Ferrer. I want to ask, do we use full English during the class, or sometimes it's also using the Philippines language? If yes, we will get the Philippines language lessons. Thank you, Dr. Christine. Please, time is yours.
Yeah. All subjects that we offer are in English. The medium of instruction in the Philippines across all subjects, except for Filipino or language subjects, is English. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to learn Filipino, except if you're just interested in learning our language, but classes are delivered in English. And we make sure that our faculty would have to speak in English from the start to the end of the classes to consider that we have international students attending classes. That might be the reason why some of our subjects for inbound mobility, the whole of discussion, so that some faculty are not but supposedly English is a medium of instruction, are in English. So there's no need to worry about that for all the subjects that are offered this semester. Yeah. And then another question here. Internship program that is available for ITS students. Yes, we can accept internship in terms of information technology because that can be done virtually. That's in the past, we have been accepting interns, but they are deployed in the banks and in several offices of the university. But this time, we can have interns who can help us in our IT services.
Thank you so much,
So
Dr.
if you
Christine,
are
for your answer.
interested to be an intern in the international office, you are most welcome. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. So we have another person who wants to ask to Dr. Christine. To Michael, please, you want to ask Dr. Christine? Time is yours.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Moderator. I would like to ask to Dr. Ferrer, uh, is the accommodation price and the food price in Philippines is expensive or is it considerably cheap? I would like to have an insight about that.
Same.
Thank you, Dr. Ferrer.
Almost the same. It's almost the same in Indonesia. You can have a meal of $1 or even less per meal. The accommodation for in the dormitory um, in our dormitory, which is a regular dormitory, that's our students only pay $10 per month in the dorm. But for the air condition, they pay about $100. Where but they stay with other students, or about 8 students in a room. They only pay $10 per month. For the food, you can have a meal of less than $1 for a complete meal. It all depends on you. If you are extravagant, then you can go to Starbucks, you can go to McDonald's, you can go to KFC. It depends on you. However, we don't have KFC in Kameling, but of course we have Jollibee, we have McDonald's. And if you want milk tea, of course we have milk tea here in the Philippines also. And most our inbound students bring Indomie. Did I answer it right, Michael?
Yes, Dr. Ferrer.
I already shifted to another sort of connectivity. Okay. And there is another question here. Is the internship will be held in the campus or in selected company? It all depends. Sometimes we bring them to companies, sometimes they stay here in the university. If they will be deployed in the in the offices within the university, they stay with us. But if you will be deployed in a company, if it's near TAU, we provide the accommodation. But if it's far from the university, then we have to arrange for your accommodation there. But for now, I don't think that we can accept a physical interns. So we have to do our internship virtually. That's why we are just offering internship for virtual mobility students in information technology.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for your answer. So we have one another question here. The question is, how big the difference between the curriculum in Indonesia and Philippines? Thank you, Miss.
That so that we can match if these programs are the same with your with the subjects in your university. So I have sent you the link there. Please check on that for the open courses which you might be interested to take here in the Philippines. Your teacher will have to check if the subjects or the list of courses will be the same, and then he or she will advise you if you will be if you will be allowed to take the subject at Tarlac Agricultural University so that you can use it for a credit transfer at IDS.
So I want to remind all of the participants here, if you have any questions, please just drop it in the chat box Zoom meeting, or you can use the raise hand feature. Okay, we have another question. Okay, for the last question is, what is the best thing about studying in Philippines that other countries don't have? Thank you.
The best thing about studying in the Philippines, I really am not sure of how can I compare studying in the Philippines with the other countries, but I'm just proud that um, the faculty are who are handling the subjects are really competent in teaching the subject, and at the same time we are ensuring quality in the delivery of our academic programs because we are also assessed regularly if our programs are within the national and global standards. We have to submit our programs for accreditation. That's why we are assuring you that the instruction delivery is within the levels of standards and excellence.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine.
Welcome.
Okay, unfortunately, the time for this session has ended. Thank you for your enthusiasm and your attention. And also, thank you very much, Dr. Christine and Ferrer, for the nice answer and wonderful information about Philippines and about TAU. Maybe from Dr. Christine, you still have something to add for the closing statement in the session?
I hope to see some of you applying in our programs, maybe not only this semester, but in the succeeding semesters. If in case you'll be taken in this semester, you're very much welcome. If you want to have internships in terms of information technology, we can delegate you to some of our offices in the college in terms of systems development, database management, and of course we cannot do networking because that's a physical activity. And then if please also watch out for other promotions that we'll be sending to ITS for the conduct of our language and culture program by summer. So we want to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. Hopefully, participants from IDS want to apply in TAU. So Dr. Christine can meet offline with them.
Yeah,
okay, dear
for
participants.
applicants at the AU, please contact the international office so that they can give the recommendation. I also sent the application form to them, and we will be waiting for the endorsement of ITS until Tuesday next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. Dear participants, that is all from me as a moderator in the session. Please return to the main room to continue the next agenda, which is closing. And once again, thank you so much and nice to see you in the main room.
Thank you.
Normally you can access to the link dormitory, link accommodation, right? Link recommend accommodation through to your office, right? Okay. And also Ms. Ipek also mentioned that welcome by our future student at airport and place them in dormitory. Oh, okay. Because if I'm not mistaken, sometimes the officer in the dormitory cannot speak English. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yes, that's why. Okay, okay. For the regulation, like I mentioned before, that there is also some student volunteer, yes, student body, yeah, and also they will get welcome in the airport and will helping them to dormitory as well. Thank you, Miss Ipek. And from last year, when I go to IAU because I arrived early from my hotel, So I contact my student, and my student told me that they also can get information of accommodation from Indonesian community in Istanbul. Yeah, sometimes because when you have a room, available room, so you may stay with them. Yeah, it's about 3 stops from the tram. Is also easy to this one. Yes, I agree, Ms. Ipek. I meet them also. They have also many student volunteer over them. I meet one of them during my visit in the IAU last February last year. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so thank you for the accommodation. I hope they can answer you about the availability. Maybe you may go to the website as well. There's a link about several fact about incoming student to IAU. Next, I will helping the question from Tristanta Nur. You want to ask directly, or should I read your question? Tristansya Nur Andin from Architecture, batch 2019. Tristansya, should I read? Okay. So from Tristansya Nur, Miss Ipex, he is the second year of the architecture student. Is there any language class we need to join if we would like to apply classes that's not available in English? Yeah, so that's the question. For example, that while they want to exchange, yeah, to I understand that architecture is not available in English, if I'm not mistaken, in your university. So do you think it's possible, for example, like they accepted in your architecture example, and then maybe they can come early, 1 month early, maybe, yeah, Tristansa, one early to read to have Turkish class, yeah, Turkish language class, and then maybe also they can let another month while they're doing exchange class. So do you think still is there any language class available for the exchange student or like for international student? Miss Ipek, please kindly let us know. Okay, so the answer from Miss Ipek is basically the Istanbul Aydin University teach the basic Turkish to the student. So which mean is it like from your office or from language office? What we call language center for the land Turkey, Miss Ipek? Okay. So they can apply directly, right? So the international student can apply directly to the language center of IAU. For example, if you wish to study Turkish language, but if I'm not mistaken, you need to pay the additional fee, right, for the class, because it's not belong to the agreement for the Turkish learning, or is it free, Miss Ipek? Yes, the name is Tomer. Tomer, it's Turkish Learning Center. Yeah. Yeah, while waiting, also you may deliver your question to the chat box or ask us anything. Okay, so Ms. Ipek mentioned that first of all, they have a Turkish Learning Center. Yeah, this is the place when you can get the Turkish class. However, if I'm not mistaken, if you join the class, you need to pay additional fee, because if I'm not mistaken, it's not under our MOU for the language class. Yeah. But let me correct me if you may ask to Dr. Aisy first or Mariana. I'm not sure also. Maybe because we still are learning that we are currently renewing our agreement. Maybe I will discuss with them if still possible to including teaching language, but I'm not sure, because normally we only they only ask for academic class. Okay. Okay, Miss Ipek, thank you. So maybe I will waiting. or like the fee or payment is still possible to get if our student would like to add Turkish language class in the Turkish Tomer Turkish Learning Center in the IAU. Do you think our students still need to pay, or they can get free? For example, 1 month free, or and then the next month is pay, or they can get full semester free. So I'm not sure. So please kindly let me know if you can answer. And then I read for the second question. What's the difference between normal student exchange, and Erasmus student exchange? What's about the file that should be prepared in applying for a student Erasmus exchange? This is for Zel Andesra. Student from industrial mechanical, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. The NRP is second year industrial mechanical or industrial chemical. Okay, so the difference. Maybe I will help you, Ms. Ipek, to answer this, because I'm the one who in charge for the regular and Ms. Cahyani who in charge for the Erasmus. Yeah. So Erasmus student action, like we mentioned before, that this is the Erasmus student action. If you the Erasmus, which means that you can go to join student exchange to IAU with scholarship. The scholarship will cover your what we call stipends, not stipend fee, living costs up to 750 euro per month, and you may also get fare, Ireland fare up to it's based on the location, but if I compare with my experience, because it should be the fee is same. My experience, and also miss the last year student is Mr. Zico from electrical. The payment is the fee for the Ireland is up to 1,100 euro. Yeah, the last time I get that one for my fare, so that's why I can fly with industrial. Thank you. So if with that area, maybe on that time I'm lucky, so I go to the Traveloka and I get Turkish Airlines directly from Jakarta to the Istanbul. So I just got flight direct. Yeah, rentable is very enough with the amount. Yeah, 1,100 euro. Yeah, but normally Erasmus exchange, you will get the money in the after 1 month, in the second month. So in the first month you need to pay by yourself first, including the ticket, and also later you will get the money in the second month, if I'm not mistaken. Second month, yes, this is the second month for the student. For me, the staff, I get 70% first, and then I go the rest of payment when I arrive in Indonesia, 2 weeks after I arrive in Indonesia, something like that, yeah, Miss Ipek. But for the regular exchange, is you can come to the Turkey, Istanbul Aydin University, yeah, without scholarship, yeah, without scholarship. So just like regular, you don't need to pay tuition fee. However, you need to pay your accommodation, your living costs, etc. Yeah. Usually, normally for the one student who get Erasmus, it is prohibited to apply funding in ITS. I will against, and I'm the one who was against if any Erasmus student apply for funding, because you get enough to go to the debt. Yeah, everything will be okay gitu kan, but only you only need to working very hard for the first month. Well, I guess it's okay. Yeah, you may get it, but for regular exchange, of course, you can apply funding in ITS. And also the difference is Erasmus student, as I mentioned before, Erasmus student exchange, yeah, only have 2 scope area based on our agreement. With ITS, the Erasmus Plus agreement only for field, electrical engineering, and industrial engineering in IAU. Yeah, which means you need to see the list of courses of industrial and electrical. Yeah, if you have similar courses, you still have a chance to apply. But for regular exchange, you might apply in any department that available in IAU. For example, in 2017, I sending computer engineering student, they applied to information technology department, and also they took 2 courses and one thesis. So they have he did his final project in IAU, and he come back to the department only for like the last test, yeah, and then she transfer all the experience thesis, yeah, and what they get from the Istanbul Aydin University. Yeah, so okay, thank you, Miss Impact for the answer. So the answer from Impact, scholarship are not awarded into action program, expenses covered by the student. Yes, as I mentioned. Same at Erasmus. Well, basically, when you try to funding your accommodation, you need to fund by yourself. But the difference is, Erasmus you got the scholarship, but regularization you don't. You didn't get scholarship. And also, I already get answer from Miss Impact about the courses language. Is the courses fee is according to the department. Okay, so they have fee but variative from the department. So that's the answer for the Turkish language class, and I hope I can answer my answer can give you my explanation can answer the question from Zel Andesra about the normal, not normal, regular student exchange and Erasmus student exchange. Yeah. Okay, so that one we specific when we talk about Erasmus, it's specific to specific area, specific department, and specific slot. Yeah, and will be open again start in next year, which means that batch 2019 and 20 you need to prepare yourself. Okay, anyone question? Please kindly let me know. I'm also asking then. If we talk about Turkey, so you don't need to worry about the halal food and also place to prayer. Yeah, when I've been there, everything is so okay. Okay. Anyone would like to ask the question about the regarding the file? You need to read our website, yeah, because we put additional file, additional requirement when we would like to do student exchange. Yeah, we also have to check, make sure the quality the student that would like to send to our partner. Yeah. So don't worry. Again, some student always concerned about the Muslim things. Yes, so for our parents usually call the international office, call my my director about this. So yeah, I think you may consider Turkey. Yeah, so for the one who have concern about that things. Yeah. Seriously, when I visit there, it is a very beautiful campus over there. Yeah, and also the tram and all transportation also is easy. I've been there, so I think I try all the typical of the transportation, public transportation. Okay, so again, thank you everyone. I hope that some question from the chat box, and also some experience that we taught you, and also some explanation from Miss Impact, even from the chat box, can assist you, can give you insight. So you might try to join their next program. They will have the level Istanbul summer school. Hopefully, is physically, but if not, you still apply for the online one. And then regular exchange, please wait a bit. I'm still renewed. We are still under renew the MOU. Yeah, we are still renewing the MOU, so you may join the student exchange. Erasmus Plus will be open in next year, 2020. Yeah, I already checked the slot yesterday with Miss Mariana. The slot is for next year, not this year. And also for the new program, also starting of next year. So please wait for us. And then another one for virtual. Later, if there is still a pandemic, they will open for virtual. You may take one courses to Istanbul Aydin University, but yeah, please always pay attention to our social media. Okay. The date of summer school, like we mentioned before, is 1 to 14 August. Just waiting for it will be physical or online later. Okay, so we will close in a bit, in a few seconds, because the time is. I hope you enjoy for this breakout room session, If you still have question, you may follow their Instagram. Their Instagram is IAU INT Office. IAU INT Office. Again, IAU INT Office. Let me put in the chat box because I also follow them and they always tag me in the Facebook. IAU INT Office for the for the ini, and you may also join to see how the level Istanbul program is the level Istanbul. Yeah, I think international office also follow them, follow both of them. International office account. Yeah, so that's Instagram. Oh, okay, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, and you might check Miss Ipek also will become the admin, so she can assist you if you have further question. But basically, when you talk about asking about documents, yeah, you need to ask myself. I mean my office. Yeah, because Erasmus is under Miss Chayani for regular exchange on all the short program is under myself. Okay, I think it's time. Thank you so much. You may please back to the main room. Thank you so much, everyone. Please kindly click leave breakout room, not leave the room, okay, but leave breakout room because we will have closing first. Thank you. Please kindly leave breakout room. You too, Miss Ipek. Thank you. Please kindly leave breakout room.
During the months of June until December. And because of climate changes, like now it's just February, but we have the first typhoon entering our country. So my internet signal is not so good this time. In terms of people, Filipinos are very accommodating. They're very friendly, like Indonesians. And by history, we are brothers and sisters because some of our ancestors are Indonesians. That's why in our language, in our local language, we have many words in common like payong. Payong is also umbrella. And in the Philippines, we also have kambing. And even our ways of counting, there are a lot of words that are the same, especially with us who are living here in Central Luzon. And they say that in our place, Indonesians are our ancestors, and so we easily get along with your nationality because we have many things in common, and we are also very kind. We love food, and I understand Indonesians love spicy food. They want a lot of chili in their food. Yeah, I have hosted Indonesian students over the past 3 years, and I can say that you are one of the best students that we handle because of the closeness of our culture, the sincerity of people. We call them anak. Anak here is also son or daughter. We call it anak also here. And um, Filipinos are you can easily get along with our Filipino students. They are humble, they are very jolly, and just like you, they also love to go around and eat food, something like that. In terms of, well, of course, online instruction is very much different as compared to the physical mobility that we have had before because, of course, you cannot be with them physically. So what you can expect in our virtual classes is that, of course, you will be being with them. The medium of instruction here in the Philippines is English. You'll be given group assignments. You will be asked to present your reports or do a simple research. So these are the things that we do in our classes. We meet once a week for virtual classes, and the other also another day in the week for doing the modules of our students, and they also submit it online. Sometimes we also give project-based learning to our students to do community-based projects. So that's how we did it last semester. And for the second semester, all of our classes are still done virtually. Our students are not allowed to go to school. Okay. There's a question here. TAU is specialized, and in that university, the curriculum is arranged to be related to agricultural study. So even though I study statistics, I would also study in agriculture. That's this hope. Well, while we are an agriculture specialized university, there are other programs wherein statistics is also related to education. There is also a statistics which is related to business. So when you are enroll a particular program, you check in which department it is offered. So I sent you the list of the open subjects for this semester. Last semester, I offered many subjects. However, I learned my lesson that I also need to choose the teachers who will be delivering that subjects, because I have to ensure quality of learning such that only the teachers who are relaying our virtual mobility students, if they are not committed to do it, then we did not include their subjects for our virtual mobility programs. So I can assure you that for all the classes that are offered here, the teachers are very much open to welcome you, despite the fact that our classes have already started last week of January. We can wait for you until next week so that you can join our classes by the first day of March. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for your nice answer. And we have one more question from Sakar. Thank you, Sakar, for your questions. So I'm from Statistics Department, and in Indonesia, we also have Agriculture University. And in that university, the curriculum is arranged to be related to agriculture study. So even though I study statistics, I will also study agriculture. Does this also happen in TAU?
I'm sorry, this was the question that I answered a while ago. I skipped the first one. I'm sorry. Is it the same? So I already answered the second question. I have to go back to the first question. So as I mentioned, I wanna ask about how the agricultural technology is there, and do they give attention to the technology of the agricultural world? Yes, we have established several programs with our partners. We have infused agricultural mechanization in our studies. We explored the use of technology as it is applied to agriculture. And of course, we integrate the elements of sustainable development goals. So you see, we are giving technology and at the same time making the world sustainable through the programs which are related to agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for your answer. So we have another questions here. So Indonesian is as well as a Muslim country. So we have the same climate and maybe the same tradition and maybe the same culture. But in Indonesia, as a Muslim, we have to eat halal food. So I want to ask, what about halal food in Filipina? Thank you.
Yes, we also consider that offering halal food, and we also have a research actually on halal with our partner institution in Mindanao, where Muslim Filipinos are living, and with the partner university in Malaysia, University Kebangsaan, Malaysia, to make sure that halal food will be available to our Indonesian students. Of course, because of the pandemic, it would not be possible for a physical mobility this time. But in the past, of course, we were able to help our students to secure that their food is halal certified.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. And I want to remind all the participants, if you have any questions to Dr. Christine, please just ask it. You can use the raise hand feature or you can use the chat box Zoom meeting using the format name underscore NRP and underscore questions. So while waiting for the next questions, I have one question here. Every university has different plans in its study system. Can you explain the unique study system at your university? Thank you.
What's that? Come again, B?
Okay, I think I will repeat it again. Every university has different plans in its study system. Can you explain the unique systems at your university?
Okay. Unit system. Okay.
Unique
So each
study system.
unit study system.
Yes.
Unique study system. Okay, for Philippine higher education, 4 years. There are also which are offered for 5 years and 6 years. Is that what you are referring? Study system?
Like the system in teaching.
I'm sorry?
Maybe the system in academic.
Is that academic system? What particular area of academics are you referring to? The curriculum, the units?
Yes, curriculum.
Okay, so for curriculum, the curriculum are arranged. We have core subjects which are prescribed by the Ministry of Higher Education, and that is true to all academic programs. And we also have specialized courses, which is relevant to the field of specialization. Usually, a subject is equivalent to 3 units, and the students have a coursework of 3 hours per week. For subjects which have laboratories, that's equivalent to 5 units.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for your answer. So we have another questions in the chat box Zoom from Angie. Thank you, Angie, for your questions. Hello, Dr. Ferrer. I want to ask, do we use full English during the class, or sometimes it's also using the Philippines language? If yes, we will get the Philippines language lessons. Thank you, Dr. Christine. Please, is
All
yours.
subjects that we offer are in English. The medium of instruction in the Philippines across all subjects, except for Filipino or language subjects, is English. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to learn Filipino, except if you're just interested in learning our language, but classes are delivered in English. And we make sure that our faculty would have to speak in English from the start to the end of the classes, to consider that we have international students attending their classes. That might be the reason why some of our offer their subjects for even in the homes only. English all throughout the period. The medium of the Philippines, the readings are in English, the examinations are in English. So there's no need to worry about that for all the subjects that are offered this semester. Yeah. And then another question here. Internship program that is available for ITS students. Yes, we can accept internship in terms of information technology, because that can be done virtually semester. Because in the past, we have been accepting interns, but they are deployed in the banks and in several offices of the university. But this time, we can have interns who can help us in our IT services.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for your answer.
Interested to be an intern in the international office, are most welcome. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. So we have another person who want to ask to Dr. Christine. To Michael, please, you want to ask Dr. Christine? Time is yours.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Moderator. I would like to ask to Dr. Ferrer, is the accommodation price and the food price in Philippines is expensive, or is it considerably cheap? I would like to have an insight about
No.
that. Thank you, Dr. Ferrer.
Almost the same. It's almost the same in Indonesia. You can have a meal of $1 or even less per meal. The accommodation for in the dormitory um, in our dormitory, which is a regular dormitory, that's our students only pay about $10 per month in the dorm. For the air con, they pay about air conditioned facility, but for the fan room, but they stay with other students. There are about 8 students in a room. They only pay $10 per month. For the food, you can have a meal of less than $1 for a complete meal. It all depends on you. If you are extravagant, then you can go to Starbucks, you can go to McDonald's, you can go to KFC. It depends on you. However, we don't have KFC in Kameling, but of course we have Jollibee, we have McDonald's. And if you want milk tea, of course we have milk tea here in the Philippines also. And most of our inbound students bring Indomie. Did I answer it right, Michael?
Yes, Dr. Ferrer.
I already. Okay. And there is another question here. Is the internship will be held in the campus or in selected company? It all depends. Sometimes we bring them to companies. Sometimes they stay here in the university. If they will be deployed in the in the offices within the university, they stay with us. But if you will be deployed in a company, if it's near TAU, we provide the accommodation. But if it's far from the university, then we have to arrange for your accommodation there. But for now, I don't think that we can accept physical interns. So we have to do our internship virtually. That's why we are just offering internship for virtual mobility students in information technology.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine, for your answer. So we have another question here. The question is, how big the difference between the curriculum in Indonesia and Philippines? Thank you, Miss.
That we can match if these programs are the same with the subjects in your university. So I have sent you the link there. Please check on that for the open courses, which you might be interested to take here in the Philippines. Your teacher will have to check if the subjects or the list of courses will be the same, and then he or she will advise you if you will be if you will be allowed to take the subject at Tarlac Agricultural University so that you can use it for a credit transfer at IBS.
So I want to remind all of the participants here, if you have any questions, please just drop it in the chat box Zoom meeting, or you can use the raise hand feature. Okay, we have another question. Okay, for the last question is, what is the best thing about studying in Philippines that other countries don't have? Thank you.
The best thing about studying in the Philippines, I really am not sure of how can I compare studying in the Philippines with the other countries. But I'm just proud that um, the faculty who are handling the subjects are really competent in teaching the subject, and at the same time we are ensuring quality in the delivery of our academic programs because we are also assessed regularly if our programs are within the national and global standards. We have to submit our programs for accreditation. That's why we are assuring you that the instruction delivery is within the levels of standards and excellence.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay. Unfortunately, the time for this session has ended. Thank you for your enthusiasm and your attention. And also, thank you very much, Dr. Christine, and for the nice answer and wonderful information about Philippines and about TAU. Maybe from Dr. Christine, you still have something to add for the closing statement in the session.
Yeah, I hope to see some of you applying in our programs, maybe not only this semester, but in the succeeding semesters. If in case you'll be taken in this semester, you're very much welcome. If you want to have internships in terms of information technology, we can delegate you to some of our offices in the college in terms of systems development, database management, and then of course we cannot do networking because that's a physical activity. And then if please also watch out for other promotions that we'll be sending to ITS for the conduct of our language and culture program by summer. So we want to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. Hopefully, participants from IDS want to apply in TAU. So Dr. Christine can meet offline with them.
Yeah,
Okay, dear
thank you.
dear
For
participants.
applicants at the AU, please contact the international office so that they can give the recommendation. I also sent the application form to them, and we will be waiting for the endorsement of ITS until Tuesday next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Christine. Dear participants, that is all from me as a moderator in the session. Please return to the main room to continue the next agenda, which is closing. And once again, thank you so much and nice to see you in the main room.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yes, you're all welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Denti Azaria, and you may call me Denti. I am the volunteer of ITS Global Engagement, and I will be your moderator to guide our discussion in the session. And thank you so much for our speaker, Mr. Michel Legout, for taking some time out of your busy schedule to join this event with us today. And Mr. Michel Legout is the Director of International Partnership at Université de Technologie de Troyes, or UTT in France. And hello, Mr. Legout.
Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. I can.
Good. Good.
Okay, so how are you?
Good. Good. Thanks.
Good. And we have another staff here from UTT. Hello, Miss Emily.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice
so
to
my
meet
name
you
is
too.
Emily. I am the exchange coordinator. So if you have any question regarding the welcoming, regarding all the activities during the
Okay.
intersemesters, I'm here.
Okay, thank you for the warm welcome, Mr. Emily. And in the previous session, you guys already get some new insights about the opportunities to join the program in UTT. And so for the next 20 minutes, you can ask more detailed questions related to UTT or about the programs. And for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to ask questions and are still confused about maybe the program, please do not hesitate to just ask the question using the raise hand feature or send it through the chat box using the format that has been given by the committee in the chat box. So is there any question here?
Okay, well, one more thing I can say
Okay,
before we start with the question is that again the programs at UTT, especially the engineering programs, are 5-year programs. We don't deliver any bachelor's degrees, but it doesn't mean that bachelor student cannot come. They can come because the program it covers bachelor and masters. But in France, we do not deliver bachelors of engineering. We only deliver masters of engineering. So if the students are at bachelor level, they can come and then they can pick and choose classes that correspond to their level. If they're like bachelor level, they will find classes at that level. But again, as I said, most classes are taught in French, but some classes are taught in English. The students really need to go on our site and have a look at the catalog to find out which courses are offered in English and which courses are offered in French.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Legout, for the information. Is there anyone who wants to ask something? Maybe you can raise your hand or just type it in the chat box. Dan teman-teman juga bisa menyampaikan pertanyaannya melalui bahasa Indonesia, kemudian nanti akan dibantu oleh panitia untuk translate. Okay, maybe the participants still need time to prepare for their questions. And yeah.
Something else I can add also that is linked to the question that was asked earlier in terms of the specializations and the if you have a look at the screen, like for example, again, material science and technology, I would say the importance of these topics are equally the same, except in the final year. Okay, in the final year, the students will specialize. For example, if they take energy, materials, and environment, there will be more focus on the materials aspect. If they take technology and trade of materials and components, well, there will be a focus on technology more than materials. But in any case, for exchange students, it's really a question of choosing classes that are relevant to their needs.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Mr. Legout. Yeah, so for those of you who wants to apply for an exchange student in UTT, you may ask your lecturer in your department regarding to the courses that are relevant to your degree. So
Something
okay.
else,
Yes.
since there are no questions yet.
Okay.
The semester, is it clear when I talk or?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So the semesters at UTT, the first semester starts in September and finishes at the end of January. That's the first semester. And in August, we have the 1-month intensive French language program. Students can earn credits for this program. And besides that, they can take a project management class, which is also worth credit and which is fully taught in English. The second semester, then we have a break between the first and the second semester. And the second semester has just started here in Troyes. So it's mid or end of February till the end of June. And again, in normal situation, we have the intensive 1-month French program, which gives credits. And we also delivered the project management class, fully taught in English, that also gives the students
Okay. So it's very clear information from Mr. Lagu. Is anyone wants to ask a question here? Oh, I have. Okay, so we have one participant. Please, Diego, you can deliver your question.
Yeah, thank you, Denti. And I would like to introduce myself again. My name is Diego from Chemical Engineering. And I would like to ask you about the intensive French language course. Is it about is it a preparation for the TOEFL but in French language, or just about French intensive language course that makes you quite good in French, or is it like a test?
Okay, good question. In fact, it's the program is adapted to the different levels of students that we have. For example, if you're a complete beginner, we will give you French classes to try to help improve your level. So at the end of this program, there are no tests. It's really a program that it is adapted according to the level of the students. So usually we have 4 or 5 different groups. We put the students in groups according to their entry level of French. And again, it's really to help them. I would say, if you're a real beginner, the objective will be to help you then live in France, like to be able to buy your groceries, to take the train if you want to go to Paris, because Paris is about an hour and a half from Troyes by train. If you have a very good level of French, then we'll try to improve your level again so that you can attend French taught classes. Okay, but again, you need a B1 level to attend French classes. So it really depends on your entry level. And again, depending on your level, the objectives will not be exactly the same. We do not offer external tests to exchange students, but if you become a degree-seeking student, you will have to take an external test, and we give classes of French also during the semester to help students reach the required level. So it really depends on your background, basically, about French. Now, the intensive French class during the 1 month that we give, maybe Emily will correct me, but I think we give like 80 hours of French. So it's really something. It's about 20 hours per week of French language. So it's really intensive.
It's 4 hours per day. So yes, it's very intensive.
Okay. Thank you, Emily.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Ledoux. And for the question, Diego? Is there any question more? I really want to ask you this, Mr. Alago. You've mentioned about the catalog. If we want to look for the program, where can we find the catalog? Is there any websites to?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
If you go to, if I can scroll down again. So the website is www.utt.fr. And when you get there, you need to click on international, because if you go to the international part of the site, the language is English. So you will find your way there. You will find the catalog, you will find the list of courses, you will find the list of programs. Okay, so you go to utt.fr and then international. And in this section, all the information is in English.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alago. Is there anyone to ask the question again? Okay, so maybe waiting for another question. I have a question. Oh, okay, so we have someone who already raised hand. Where are you? Okay. Okay, so yes, Faramash, you can deliver your question.
Thank you for the opportunity, Denti. Hello, may I introduce myself? My name is Ahmad Faramars. You can call me Ichan from my last name, Kalizan. It's from Ichan. It's what my friends call. I'm from Ocean Engineering Department of ITS. So here I'm studying in about ocean, about engineering, basically in about oil rig system or beach development or anything else like that. So what my question I'm going to ask here about the lecturer, I mean, Mr. Lagold. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it well.
You're fine, you're fine.
Yeah. How does a lecturer there teach their students? I mean, in Indonesia, here we got middle exam and final exam. So there's 2 exam and and then basically it's 4 pop quiz. So here lecturer gave us 4 opportunities to give us nilai. What is nilai? Value. Grade.
Okay.
Yeah. Grade.
Yeah. Okay.
So how is there to be lecturer give us like grade? I'm sorry, I'm maybe English.
Yeah, that's
Thank
okay.
you very much.
Well, that's clear. Well, there one thing before I answer your question, one thing you have to know is that for each course, for almost each course, you have a lecture part, okay, where the students, in fact, you attend lectures that is delivered by the main teacher. And then be split into practical activities. So you may have a group of 100 students attending a specific course during lectures, and then they will have 4 groups of tutorials of about 25 students, and then they may split them again in practical sessions of about 12 students. Now, it's possible that you have a midterm exam, a final exam for the lecture part. It's possible that you have midterm exams for the tutorial parts, or maybe you will have to deliver a project. It could be an oral presentation. It could be a project that you do with your mates in the class. And for the practical part, there are also a possibility of having to sit an exam or a quiz, or you may have also to make a presentation to deliver some sort of projects. It really depends on each course, but basically assessment is done throughout the semester, and there's also a final test. So It depends really on the course. It depends on the activities. It depends on the teacher. But you have more than one chance for sure in each class. There's an obligation in France. You have to have at least 2 different types of assessment for a course. And again, the assessment could be sitting an exam, making an oral presentation, presenting a document, turning in a report. It really depends on the courses. Does that answer your question?
Very much, Mr. Good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the question, Ichang, and also Mr. Lagu. Is there any more questions here?
I have a question for your students.
Okay.
Maybe you can answer. Do you know if your students have to take internships either in labs, like a research internship, or at an industrial company?
Yeah, we do have to take the internship program if we are already in last year, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
because that as I mentioned earlier, that could be an
Yeah.
option for your students.
oh, okay. So maybe I can ask you one question, Mr. Lagu. How is the system about the internship system in UTT? Do we have
Okay.
to like for how long and how
Okay.
is the internship? Yes. Okay.
Okay. Usually the internships for our students are 24-week long. Okay, they are 24-week internships. They are spent at French companies. We have a dedicated service at UTT that helps students find internships. Now, the situation in normal times, I would say, is very favorable for our students because there are like 10 offers from companies per student. So the students, they can really pick and choose the internships that they want to do. There are 2 internships. One is done in the 4th year of the program, and one is done in the final year of the program. The internship that is done in the final year of the program, I would say at least one, well, for 50% of the students, it's like I would say hiring a kind of internship. Like the students, they will work for the company for about 6 months. And most of the time, the company will offer a contract to the students at the end of the internship. The internship that is done in the 4th year is not the same type of internship. It's still an internship where the students will have to work on a real project. Sometimes they even have to run a team, but the expectations from the company is not to hire the students. But it's possible that they keep in touch, and then later on the students could do another internship in that company to be hired. So these internships that are done in the 4th year are the ones that your students could apply to. But again, to do that, they need to spend at least 1 semester of studies at UTT, because in the French law, to do an internship at a company, it has to be part of a program, of an academic program. So if they are enrolled as exchange students at UTT, they are allowed to take an internship at a company, and they will get paid. The salary they will get for an internship is about 600 euros per month. It's not that big a deal, but again, I said that to make a living in France, you need about 600 euros a month. So it means that it should cover for their expenses. Now, if they want an internship in English, it's possible, but most of these internships will be in larger cities, like maybe Lyon or Paris or Marseille. But again, in these cities, the cost of life is a bit higher than what you have in Troyes. So you cannot expect that the internship will pay for the whole expenses. But some companies who, when they hire their applicants for internship, they will give them a salary that is adjusted to the cost of living in their city. So I would say almost anything is possible. As long as they do well at UTT, they can find an internship quite easily.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the answer. It really helped me to and help us to understand how is the system there. And sorry for the noise. So actually, we still have a little bit time, around 3 minutes. Maybe for those of you who still have some question. Okay, we have one question here from Fatin Putri. So thank you for the information, Mr. Lebu. I want to make sure about the information that I received. So the available program for undergraduate student is courses, and the implementation time is from September to January or February to June. So we can choose
Right.
between that two period, isn't it?
Yeah, right. The students can choose between those two periods, or they can choose to come for a full year. It's possible also, but they cannot come for more than a year. It has happened in the past well, it happens sometimes that the student don't pay attention to this. They come for a full year of studies, and then they decide that they want to stay for an internship, which is not possible. It's 1 year as exchange students in France. You cannot go above 1 year. So it could be 2 semesters of studies, or it could be a semester of studies and a semester of internship. Now, the internship can also be done at one of our laboratory, as I said earlier. So, and it's all the internship in labs can be done in English, because I would say that the main language in labs is English, in fact, at UTT, because we have several international teachers and researchers. Does that answer the question?
Yes, I think that's pretty clear for the information. And is there any other questions before we have to end this session? And I actually have this personal question for you, Mr. Lagu. Is there any scholarships that can be taken from the UTT?
Not from UTT per se. There are some possibilities. If you go on you have to ask the French Embassy of Indonesia, because they know about the French government programs. So if you contact the French Embassy, you will find out. But the UTT itself, unfortunately, no, we don't have any grant or scholarship for the visiting students.
Okay, thank you. And another question. I have a lot of questions actually. So, you mentioned that the students in PROA is very variety. There are so many students from another countries.
Yeah.
I want to ask if we still can experience the French life in PROA.
Oh, sure, definitely. If you come to Troyes, it's really up to you, in fact, because I told you about an association we have for international students, which is called Interlink, and most of the members, I would say all of them basically, are foreign students. So if you decide to stick with the foreign students, well, you will be with foreign students. But since we have the buddy system, if you decide to stick with French students, then it will be easier to discover the French way of life. And in most courses at UTT, at some point you will have to work in teams on projects. And again, it's really up to you to decide to go with a team mainly made with local students, or if you want to stick with the foreign students. So really it's up to you. It's your decision. One thing that most teachers will do is they will try to split the foreign students between not to put them in the same group for 2 reasons. First, if you are in a group, in a team with local students, it's easier for you to understand the instructions, to understand what is expected. And then the other reason is that the international students, they bring a different view, different point of views, which is really enriching to the local students, as we also try to focus on internationalization at home. And the way to do it is to mix local students with international students. So again, it's more or less up to you. If you're the outgoing type of person, and you really like to mix with international students or with local students, well, it will be easier than if you stay by yourself or wait for the others to come in and reach out to you. Generally speaking, the local students are really friendly, but they will not be the kind of person that will go and reach out to you. But if you go and reach out to them, they will welcome you for sure.
Okay, thank you. That really answered my question.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we already have to end this session, unfortunately. But once again, thank you for your enthusiasm. And also thank you very much for Mr. Lagu for your time and answers. And last but not least, Mr. Lagu, do you have something to add for the closing statement? Or maybe Miss Emily?
Yes. Well, just if I can say something, and then I'll leave the floor.
Yeah, we have
to
1
Emily.
more minute left.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
just thank you in that case. Thank you very much. I don't know if Emily wants to say something.
Thank you, everybody. Be free to contact me if you have any question regarding the welcome. So we are taking care of everything in UTT for you, the pickup at the airport, accommodations, everything. So it's very easy for you when you arrive. Be free to contact me. I will answer all the questions.
Okay, thank you, Miss Emily. So yeah, that's it from me as the moderator for today. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining this session. And you may leave this breakout room and go to the main room and continue to the next agenda. Thank you once again, Mr. Lagu and Miss Emily. Thank you.
Okay, ready. Laura, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Is everyone back?
Almost back? Almost all?
Okay.
Okay,
So
but you can go to the last agenda.
Okay, so our last agenda, now that we are all back here, I want to appreciate greatly our representatives from each partner university today. You have shared a lot of opportunities, which motivates us to do more and more for internationalization and achieve the global standards. Thank you very much. And as a form of appreciation, we want to give you something, although not much. Okay, thank you for Dr. Oscar from Istanbul Aydin University. Thank you for the motivation and for the sharing. And then also for Tarlac Agricultural University in Philippines. Thank you for Dr. Ferrer. And the last one, last but not least, thank you for fellowship lecturer in France to Mr. Lecoux and Miss Emily. Thank you very much. So our very last agenda is we will have a photo session, and for that, I want all of you who haven't turned your face on yet, please do and show us your best smiles, sit up straight, because we're gonna have a photo session.
Yeah, for certificate, for the speaker, I will send the certificate by email to the partner. Thank you. Everyone, maybe Laura, you may start to counting.
Oh, okay, I will. There are 4 pages here, so I will count for page 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we move on to page 2. 1, 2, 3. Page 3. 1, 2, 3. And the last page. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we have finished all of our agenda today. I want to thank all the participants for your enthusiasm. And I want to inform you that our next LSA will be held on 25th of February with different partner universities. One of them is from Japan, by the way. So in order to improve for the next event, please fill the feedback form so we can improve. And we really appreciate the honest feedback. The link will be shared by our committee in the chat room. And I will also remind you again that filling the attendance and feedback form are requirements to get step for it, and that each link will be closed 30 minutes after being shared. So you can start filling the feedback form now. And thank you very, very much for today. It was a very informative event that gave us insights, gave us encouragement for all of us, and I hope to see you all in our next event. And for any mistake that I have made or any committee here has made, we apologize during this session, and we hope that after this session you will be much more motivated to participate in internationalization events. And I'm Laura as your Master of Ceremony signing off. Thank you all and see you in LSA Part 2 in 25th of February.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you,
everyone.
Dr. Christine. Thank you, Mr. Michelle. Thank you, Miss Ipak. Thank you, all the team. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So we can close the link. Agatha, in 3, 2, 1, go. Agatha, you may close the link.